So this next list is going to be more of my most anticipated movies of 2023, but this one is going to be more about the originals, the ones that haven't been based on any movies beforehand, the ones that are somewhat original ideas. Some of these are based off a book, some of these are based off a video game, but I'm really curious to see how these movies play out. So I honestly look forward to more originals than I do franchise movies these days. Surprisingly, like I have more movies in the franchise in the originals list than I do the franchise list. Do have a few more honorable mentions than the other one, and I'm curious to see if any of these movies will perform really well or if these movies are actually really good. But let's take a look at my most anticipated originals of 2023. First up, we have 65, a movie that stars Adam Driver in this like sci-fi horror movie, which I'm curious about because one is the writers of A Quiet Place are directing this, so I'm kind of curious to see how they'll do behind the camera. Sam Raimi is producing this. I am a little concerned because the movie has been pushed back several times, which is not a good sign. And it's also coming out the same weekend as Shazam, so who knows? Also coming out this year, hopefully, is Next Goal Wins. This is a movie from Taika Waititi that has been in development hell for a long time. I think it was filmed all the way back pre-COVID, and now it's finally coming out. That's a little. I'm a little nervous, but at the same time, I'm kind of curious to see if Taika Waititi still has his charm, like that's away from Marvel, and he goes back to other more personal movies, like say Jojo Rabbit or What We Do in the Shadows or Hunt for the Wilder People. It's got Michael Fassbender, Elizabeth Olsen, Will Arnett in it. I'm curious to see how this one plays out. Chevalier. I saw the trailer for this one. I thought it looked really good. I'm kind of curious to see Kelvin Harrison Jr. in this movie. Has a pretty stellar cast, including Samara Weaving, Minnie Driver. Trailer I thought the trailer was good. Comes out in April. Let's see. Shelby Oaks. As far as I know, this is supposed to come out in July 2023. I'm curious to see Chris Stuckman make his directorial debut with a feature film. And I did donate to the Kickstarter, so I want to see where my money goes. I hope it's really good. I'm really happy for Chris Stuckman. And the last honorable mention I'm going to do is Elemental. Any Pixar movie I'm going to be excited for. And the trailer for this so far has not really excited me, but I kind of want to see more of this. But that's kind of like what Disney does. Curious to see it. Anyway, let's get into my top 10 most anticipated original movies of 2023. At number 10 is Barbie. Now, why is this? You're probably wondering a few things. Why is this on this list? Why is it even so low on the list? Well, honestly, even though the first trailer I thought was cute and funny, had a nice nod to 2001: A Space Odyssey, I kind of want to see a little bit more. I think Margot Robbie is well cast as Barbie. Ryan Gosling as Ken. The cast for this movie is incredible. We have Will Ferrell, Issa Rae, Simu Liu, Kate McKinnon, America Ferrera. A whole bunch of people are just in this movie. And I'm curious to see how this movie is going to be. Is it going to be like Into the Spider-Verse a bit with all these different Barbies in it? I'm curious, but I want to see another trailer first. At number 9 is The Killer. I don't know anything about this movie. I just know David Fincher's directing it. David Fincher doesn't direct as many movies as I think he should, and I think he's a lot more particular. But I am curious. It does have Michael Fassbender and Tilda Swinton in it, so I look forward to it. At number 8, Ferrari, a Michael Mann movie, which you want to talk about people who haven't directed a movie in a while. Michael Mann hasn't directed a movie since 2015. So I'm curious to see how this movie is. Has Adam Driver in a lead role. And the only reason why these movies are so low on this list is because these movies don't have dates yet, and as far as I know, they could be pushed back. So, at number 7, Renfield. I thought this was another movie that was going to get pushed back because we didn't see any promotional material for it. That all changed when the trailer dropped, and that was a fun trailer. I'm curious to see Nicolas Cage as Dracula, Nicholas Hoult as his assistant, who's trying to get away from that. It looks fun. It looks action-packed. I hope it's a blast. I hope it's a good time. At number 6, Knock at the Cabin. So with M. Night Shyamalan movies, they're really hit and miss. Some of them have been really good. Some of them have been pretty awful. And right now we're kind of in this phase where it's like, oh, it can be really good or it can be really bad. And right now he's kind of iffy because Old, which I actually kind of liked. Old was very divisive for a lot of people. And Glass I thought was just a major disappointment. I'm curious to see this one because I do think the morality of the movie is really interesting. Like, would you save your family or would you save humanity? I do think the movie does present its concept very interestingly. And I kind of like how it just kind of like in the trailer kind of like alludes that it might all be happening. Like all this might be real and some of it may not be real. And I really want to see how this movie does play out. I do have the book and I'm trying to get through it, but I also kind of want to be surprised with this movie. It looks very fascinating. At number 5 is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now this movie looks ridiculous. It looks fun. It kind of, like I compared Barbie to Into the Spider-Verse. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, I'm going to compare it to the Lego movie because it has like all these references to like all these different types of Mario games. Obviously, Mario Kart, um, even like Unfair Mario. Probably Mario Party is going to be thrown in there too. I hope it's a lot of fun. I hope it's a blast. The voice cast, for the most part, I do think is solid. Like Charlie Day as Luigi, perfect casting. Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, sure, why not? Jack Black as Bowser, sure. Then there's Chris Pratt. Yeah, I don't like Chris Pratt as Mario. It doesn't sound right. Why can't you just get the original Mario voice actor to do it? That's the one thing about this movie that's just kind of holding me back a bit. But I hope it's fun. I hope it's exciting. I hope it's entertaining. Just as long as Chris Pratt doesn't destroy the movie, I'll be good. At number 4, Asteroid City, the new movie from Wes Anderson, which stars a lot of his mainstays, but he brings on a whole new group of people as well, including Tom Hanks, Margot Robbie, Steve Carell. There's so many people in this movie that I don't think I can name all of them. And I don't know too much about this movie. All I know is that it's Wes Anderson, so I'm automatically interested in it. At number 3, Beau is Afraid. This is Ari Aster's next big movie after Midsommar, and the trailer looked very surreal, absurdist, and yeah, Joaquin Phoenix playing his character at different ages. I'm really curious to see how this movie plays out, and I am a little bit concerned because this movie is reportedly like 3 hours long. But I'll still be interested because Ari Aster has directed 2 movies that I really enjoyed. Well, not really enjoyed, but 2 movies that I really appreciated. And so I'm kind of curious to see what he does next. I guess it's going to be more of a comedy than it is a horror movie. So I'm wondering how he does with comedy. We'll see. At number 2, Killers of the Flower Moon, the next Martin Scorsese movie, which reunites him with Leonardo DiCaprio as well as Robert De Niro. Also has a bunch of other people in the cast, including Jesse Plemons, Brendan Fraser, John Lithgow. A whole bunch of other people are in this movie. I don't know too much about this. It's just Martin Scorsese and the cast automatically signing up for it. And I am a little disappointed that it is on Apple TV instead of in theaters. That's honestly kind of disappointed me. If The Irishman was on Netflix, I would have preferred seeing that in the theater first over watching it on Netflix. But, oh well. As long as I get to see this, I'll be happy. And my number 1 most anticipated movie of 2023. You probably guessed it, Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan's next big movie, this one about the father of the atomic bomb, and has an insane cast. Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Rami Malek, Florence Pugh, Josh freaking Peck is in this movie. Oh my god, I'm just pumped for this movie. I'm curious to see how this whole thing plays out, and I'm curious to see it on the biggest screen possible. Anything by Christopher Nolan, I'm automatically signing up. He's one of the few filmmakers who's doing unique, different stories that no one else would try to do, and people would actually respond to it. And I'm really glad about that. So I'm curious to see how this movie does, and I'm kind of curious to see if people respond well to it. I'm still looking forward to it. I want to see it on the biggest screen possible. So those are my picks for my most anticipated original movies of 2023. What are some of the most anticipated original movies of the year for you? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat. Stay safe.